friends, it's Stephanie Hansen with stephaniesdish.com, and today we're cooking with one of my favorite ingredients, which is rhubarb. I love rhubarb, and on my site you'll find rhubarb bars, you'll find rhubarb syrup, I've got rhubarb coffee cake, I've got all kinds of rhubarb recipes. It's a staple in the Midwest that we just love. And today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to be making rhubarb cookies. So we are going to start with a 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 2 sticks of room temperature butter. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here, getting our butter creamed in. I'm going to add 2 room temperature eggs, and then I'm also adding some vanilla. I want to get everything incorporated here. Make sure that I get all of that butter, the egg, the vanilla, the sugar incorporated. And then I'm going to start adding my other ingredients. You'll notice that I've cut the rhubarb really fine, and that's going to go in last. It's about a 1/4 inch dice. It's pretty small. All right, all of our sugars are mixed in. I'm going to go ahead and mix in our flour. And I have 1 3/4 cups, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Yes, I'm using both. A teaspoon of salt. And then I've got 1.5 cups of quick cooking oats. But before I put the oats in, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this incorporated. All right, I'm going to scrape my bowl down. Make sure I get all of that flour incorporated. 1.5 cups quick cooked oats. Give it a quick zhuzh. But I'm gonna get a wooden spoon and I'm gonna add the rhubarb by hand. I love rhubarb, and a rhubarb cookie just hits the right notes for me because it's sort of like a oatmeal cookie. If you think about like an oatmeal raisin cookie, but it's got that little soury acid hit of rhubarb, which is so good when it's baked. We're gonna put the rhubarb in with our cookie mixture. And again, I have 1 3/4 cups of rhubarb. And I'm just gonna stir it around. I want a good rhubarb to batter ratio, and I feel like I can do that more easily with this wooden spoon than I can with my mixer. Ooh, I just love the smell of rhubarb. It smells so good. All right, I've got everything mixed up. I'm gonna go ahead with my cookie scoop here and just scoop these out. They are gonna spread on the cookie sheet, so I wanna give them plenty of room. And when you're cooking cookies too, and they say they're gonna spread, after your first batch, you'll kind of get a sense of how much. I only cook 1 tray at a time, just again, because I like to control the temperature in the oven. And I usually do spin them around. We're gonna cook them for about 12 minutes, but I always check a few minutes earlier. So I'm gonna set the timer for 10. I hope you guys like these. One of the variations you can do with them is to put a frosting glaze on them. Sort of like a cream cheese frosting that you might see with like a pumpkin spice cookie. I don't love to do that just because I think that these cookies are delicious on their own. But if you're feeling it, that might be a variation for you to try. So they look like a real traditional oatmeal cookie with fruit in it. You can find this recipe and all the recipes with rhubarb that I was talking about at stephaniesdish.com.